Good evening, Timothy Bond, Truvine Publishing Company. So let's dig into chapter 2, which is adopting the pro mentality. Years ago, I did an interview, and the lady asked me, what is one of the biggest mistakes that you see authors have? And I told her the biggest mistake that I see and the biggest problem I see with most authors, they do not see themselves as professionals. It takes 10 years, they say, to become an overnight success. I've been publishing books for 19 years. I published books, I produced books for people, but I was still holding on to that full-time job because I needed the benefits. I didn't see this job really as a way to provide for my family. And so I didn't have a pro mentality. I had an amateur mentality. Now, some would say, no, you just taking care of your family. No, I had an amateur mentality because I didn't believe that my gifts, my skills, my services, my value could help someone else. Take a look at yourself. Do you really believe that your book, your skills, your value can help someone else? Because if you do, then you have to adopt a pro mentality. I published books on the side as a side business. And there were many of those years where I was miserable working for another company, doing for that company what I knew I could have been doing for myself. I worked for a college. And what I did for this college was I called people all day long. I cold called people all day long and asked them to join a college. I did this for a good 4 years. 4 years, calling people, hundreds of people a day, getting hung up on, getting cursed out, calling. Hey, would you like to go to college? Get off my phone. Why are you calling me? Thousands upon thousands of people in my profession, and I could have been doing that for myself. I could have been cold calling for my publishing company. When I got somebody on the phone, that call resulted in no less than $15,000 for the business. The pro mentality in me said, I've got to go to work. I have to give this company 8 hours of my time every day, 40 hours of my week, and sometimes even more than that. But when it came to my business, my mentality was, I'll get to it when I have time. I'll do this one project on the side. I could have been making more money from my business than I was making from my hourly wages, but my amateur mindset believed more in my employer's vision than it believed in my own. So I want to challenge you today to look at your vision that you have for your life. You wrote this book for a reason. You have a vision for this book. What does the professional version of your vision look like? The 100% focus, 100% energy. What does that look like to you? That is the pro version. That's the pro mentality. So let's read a little bit from the book. I said, I've been publishing books for 19 years. For 16 of those years, I published books as a hobby. In 2020, God snatched the training wheels off of my career and told me it's time to go pro. So when I was working for this job, I go into the office and I get an email that says, Tim, call me before you get on the computer today. I call the manager and they let me know, we got to let you go. We've decided to go another way. That's all the explanation I got. Now, the good thing is I had my business. So I was never really afraid of losing a job because I knew I had a business. It's almost as if I knew, like, if I have to, I can make this thing work. Now that I'm thinking about it, I knew that if I had to, I could make my business work, which is sad because that means I leaned on my employer as a crutch for fear of going out. And some of you know deep down, if you had to, you could make your book a multi-million-dollar business. you can make multiple streams of income from your book. You know, if you had to, you could make this thing work, but it's safer to depend on the employer. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job at all, but I am telling you the energy that you're putting in now, if it is not a professional mentality, if it's not a pro mentality, then you've got to put in more. You've got to adopt the pro mentality. So what does a pro mentality look like? Moving on. What does a pro mentality look like? I say in the book, a pro mentality works the business. Professional athletes don't send their friends into the gym to work out for them. Professional real estate agents don't sit at home waiting for somebody to knock on the door and say, will you please sell me a house? Professionals don't hand over the success of their enterprise to other people. A lot of people believe when they write a book that it's somebody else's responsibility to sell the book. They believe it's the publisher's responsibility. They believe they need a publicist. They believe they need someone to market the book. They believe they need someone else to make the book a success. The pro mentality understands that you have to work the business. Your book is a business. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the energy. You have to put in the resources and the money to make this thing work. And you've got to create whatever that looks like. It doesn't mean you work it 8 hours a day, but maybe you give up a weekend and you go on the weekends every weekend and you sell your book or you go speak about your book. You have to do something to sell more books. So a professional mentality works the business. It's not something you can do passively. Your publisher's not responsible for your success. Amazon is not responsible for your success. People, please understand, putting your book on Amazon is not the sign that you've made it. That is not the sign of success. You are contributing to Amazon's success for a small pinch of the profit. Essentially, that's what you're doing. When you promote your book on Amazon and you send people to Amazon to get your book, instead of creating your own website and setting up your own merchant account so that people can buy the books directly from you, you are giving Amazon 50 to 60%. And in some cases, they even have an option for 70%. To give them 70% and you take 30% so that they can sell your book on their website. Now think about this, the same energy that it would take for you to tell someone to go to Amazon and buy your book is the same energy it would take for you to say, go to my website and buy the book. The same energy it would take that person to type in Amazon.com is the same energy it would take them to type in blah.com. Blah being your website, okay? So the professional mentality doesn't hand over the enterprise to other parties. It works the business. You work the business. A pro mentality promotes the business. I cannot tell you how many times I speak to authors who tell me they don't want to market, they don't want to promote, they don't want to talk. They don't want to be seen. They just want to write the book and get paid. What world does that live in? What if everybody could do that, if making money from selling books was that easy, everyone would be authors. Everyone in the world would be authors, and everyone would just sit back and get paid. Writing books is not that simple. If you want to make money, you've got to promote the book. Listen, statistically, they did a survey asking people why they buy books. 83% of book buyers said they bought books of people they know and love. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, how many people do I know? And that's a good question, because most of us don't know enough people to make us rich off of selling books. Most of us don't know that many people, and that many people don't know us. Think about a celebrity, Michelle Obama. Who's your favorite actor? They probably have millions of fans who know them and love them. And so if they put a book out, guess what? 83% of their audience will come from people who already know, I love this person and I will buy anything they write. Now, what does that mean for you, though? What does that mean for you? It means that you've got to know more people. You've got to get more people to know you. So you may not know 1 million people, which is why you have to promote. You've got to get out there and tell more people about your book, interact with more people so that more people will know you, and therefore more people will buy your book. With that number in mind, it makes total sense when I tell you that the majority of books sold, nonfiction books in particular, the majority of nonfiction books sold in America failed to sell any more than 250 books in their lifetime because the average writer does not have enough promotion. They're not promoting their book enough. They're not getting out, meeting more people, sharing their message with more people. So the professional mentality promotes the book. Fear of rejection is not an excuse. I know a lot of authors think that your book is your baby. It's not. It's a book. It's not something you need to protect. There are going to be some people who like your book. There are going to be some people who do not like your book. So you have to be okay with putting your book out there and letting those who go grab value from it get value from it. And those who don't, that's okay. It's okay. So you may have people who don't like your book, but that's okay. For everyone who doesn't like your book, you may have 10 other people who do love it. Okay? So you've got to promote your book. A pro mentality understands that the only way anyone is going to know that your book exists is by promoting it. You have to tell people about the book in any and every way. So what are some ways you can tell people about your book? What are some ways you can promote your book? Social media is the strongest, most powerful tool we have today. Social media allows the average person to reach the entire world with the click of a button. And so for those who are saying, I just don't do social media, I'm not doing social media, please stop it. Please stop it. You got to stop. If you want to be successful in this business, you have to utilize social media. It's just the name of the game. I mean, how else are you going to reach more people who are not your immediate circle of influence? How are you going to reach people who are not your friends and family if you're not willing to just get on a platform that allows you to reach groups of tens of thousands of people to share your thoughts? And social media gives you your own personal spotlight. Social media allows you to make new friends. Friends buy products from friends. Podcasting. If you don't, this is a great, I didn't realize what I was doing, but I started podcasting. I started doing videos on social media. And what I didn't realize that I was doing, the benefit, the unexpected benefit that was happening for me is that I was building my public speaking skills. By podcasting is a way of building your public speaking skills with training wheels, right? Because really you're interviewing someone else. But as you continue to do that, you get stronger in your delivery, you get stronger in your presentation, you become more confident in your speaking, you become more accustomed to your speaking rhythm. And once you get into that speaking rhythm, public speaking becomes more comfortable. So doing podcasts is a great way to do several things. Doing podcasts is a great way to get your message out. It's a great way to connect with other people's audiences and grow your audience. It's a great way to increase your public speaking skills. It's a great way to show more value to your audience and to other people. Create a podcast. If you've written a book, I believe everyone should have a podcast. And I don't care if you do it every week. I don't care if you do it every month, but start a podcast. Create a catalog of content in every possible way. Social media, YouTube videos, audio podcasts. So you can promote your book with social media, podcasting, interviews. I got an email yesterday from a company that basically they have a magazine and they send you a questionnaire and you fill out this questionnaire and your headshot, and then they create a magazine based on your answers to their questions. Yeah, it's not, I'm not on Time Magazine. Nobody called me because I'm a celebrity, but exposure is exposure. It's free. I'm not paying money to be a part of it, and they want to tell their audience about me. So yes, I'm going to do it. You need to look for opportunities like that as well. Why? Because if I reach 5 people, if their magazine goes out to 1,000 people, and 5 of those people like what I have to say about my business, that may be 5 new contracts for me. Was that worth it? Would that be worth it? Absolutely, it would be. So promote yourself, social media, podcasting, interview, passing out business cards and postcards. I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to move on. When I put out my second book, Fall in Love with the Struggle, boom, right there. You can still get it on my website. I went to a club and I took postcards and I threw them on the bar. I did not know who would pick it up, but I said, hey, people are here. I'm going to put my postcards about my book signing on this bar table. As I'm signing books at my book release party, guy walks up. He says he's new in town. He heard about this. He found out about the book signing party at a club. He saw a postcard on the bar. That was a book sale from a little to no effort. I just tossed some postcards on the bar. No effort, but it resulted in money in my pocket. It resulted in someone knowing my name, getting a taste of my message. So promote yourself any kind of way. You can go into Panera Bread or Starbucks, put a postcard on the community board, whatever it takes to get eyes on your book, on your brand, on your face, on your name. That's the key. That's what you want. You just want more exposure. It doesn't matter if everyone buys or not. More exposure, because the key to the many is in the one. If you find the right one person who promotes you, who likes you, who loves you, that could be the difference between night and day. Car magnets. You know, they have those magnets you can put on your door. Promote yourself. Whenever you're driving, people are looking. Whatever you can do to bring attention. A pro mentality promotes the book. And then lastly, a pro mentality invests in the business, okay? An amateur mentality looks for the cheap way. An amateur mentality is looking for the freebies. If you want to be successful as an author, you got to invest in the business. Think of every major world-changing company that you can think of. I promise you, thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars of seed money was raised. Seed money, that means the little thing that you put in the ground in order to get the tree. Millions of dollars of seed money was put into Microsoft. Millions of dollars of seed money was put into Amazon. You have to invest. You can't get a $1 million book out of a $5 investment. I have a coach, and he's a best-selling author, Amazon bestseller, and now he is a Wall Street Journal bestseller, New York Times bestseller. Do you know what it takes to become a New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller, the people who get that kind of accomplishment, they've paid money to achieve that goal. They have paid coaches to show them how to achieve that goal. One of my coaches paid $14,000 for 3 hours to sit with a man who told him how to achieve the Wall Street Journal bestseller. $14,000 just to get the information. He still had to do the work. He still had to put in the time, the effort. He still had to pay the marketing and promotion of his book, the trips and the speaking engagements. He still had to do all of that. And he paid the $14,000 for 3 hours of time with a coach who told him what to do. A pro mentality invests in the business, and investments come in time, it comes in money, it comes in energy and resources. I can't promote a book by going on and putting a picture on Instagram in 5 minutes and then hoping that something comes out of it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I have to put in the time. I have to go out and speak. I have to put hours of time into promoting, creating an hour a week here in the 5K book club. Put an hour of time into speaking about the book. You got to put in time if you're going to be successful and have the pro mentality. You got to give that energy. It takes time. It takes money. It takes energy to make your book successful. And so you got to put in that time, energy, money, resources, whatever you need to do. And guess what? It's not going to be a little. Think about this. If I put one seed in the ground, I buy a big farm, and I say, I want to have a harvest. I want to have 1 million apple trees, and I have 1 million seeds. And I decide, well, I don't really want to waste all of these seeds. So I'm just going to put one seed in the ground. How many apple trees do you think I'll have? How many apple trees do you think I'll end up with? I'll end up with 1 apple tree, if that, because there's no guarantee that the seed won't get eaten, it won't rot, it won't get killed by the heat. So it's not going to be a small investment. You have to get into the mindset that I'm going to invest as much as I possibly can liberally so that I can get a return that is also just as liberal. The mentality that you go into something with is the mentality that you're going to move with, right? So if you go into it with the mentality that I don't want to spend a lot of money on this project, guess what? When it's time to promote and market and push your book, you're also going to say, I don't want to put that much time, energy, or money into promoting the book either. And nothing's going to come out of it. So if you want to make this 5K plus, you're going to have to invest into it so that you can generate the money that you want. And that can be energy, time, money. Hire help. This is an investment of money, but it's also a benefit to you. I totally understand more than anybody that you cannot do everything by yourself. Actually, that's the worst thing you could try to do, is to do all things and be all things to the business, right? So hire people who can help you. You don't have to reach out to 5,000 people a day. You know, duplicate yourself. If you can reach 20 people a day, how many people could you reach if you hired someone? 2 people who could also reach 20 people or more a day, right? Actually, they would be able to reach more people because they don't have all the responsibilities that you have. So hire someone. And the goal, of course, is whoever you hire should triple, quadruple, or sextuple what you're paying them. So my goal is for this book, I'm hiring a salesperson, and I'm going to pay them X dollars a month with the expectation that they're going to sell 3, 4, 5, 6 times more than what I paid them per month. Work smarter, not harder. Adopting a pro mentality means that you take this book seriously. You see this as a career, your future, and your legacy to pass down. If you're resistant to the notion of investing time, energy, and money into your book, then you can't expect the same results as someone who does. The execution for this week is to write out, what does your pro mentality, what does your pro version of your vision look like? What does the pro version of your vision look like? How much time does the pro version of you put into your business? How much money does the pro version of you make from your vision? I mean, how much energy and money does the pro version of you pay into your vision? Write out what the pro version of your success looks like. All right, you all have a great day. Let's go make 5K. I may start saying that. That was cute.